Hi guys, I am Shudufhadzo Musida, Miss South Africa 2020.
Hi there, I'm Dr. Colinde Linda, Clinical Psychologist and SADAG Board Member.
So today we're going to be talking about how to maintain your mental, physical and emotional well-being as a finalist. Being Miss South Africa, or being a Miss SA finalist rather, is quite a daunting task. So I just want to speak to Dr. Colinde today just to see what we can equip you with, or tips that can equip you during this journey, because it's a beautiful journey, but you just have to be present. But to be present, you have to be okay mentally, physically and emotionally. So Dr. Colinde, Miss South Africa is one of the most exciting journeys that any person can ever take. But then you're filled, or you're surrounded by so many different women. It's only natural to only sometimes feel anxious, because I know that I did. How would you advise a finalist to just basically center themselves in moments like that?
I think you've hit the nail on the head, because you said be present and you said center. So one of the quick tips how you can actually do it is, like right now demonstrated, you can actually ground yourself. So just as we're sitting now, my hands are like this, but I can feel my ring, or my hand could be here and I could feel the chair. Or where I'm standing, feel the ground under my feet. So you ground yourself physically like that. You also look around the room if you can, and just think this building has been here for a long time. If you can see outside, the trees are there, the sun is in the sky, or the moon is there, and just that, looking at the big still things. I think, how still would this place be if I wasn't here? So it's by physical touch, and then just looking around at the big things. It really helps to ground you.
And I think maybe I should have started with this question: why is it important to maintain those things? Why is it important?
I think if you're not present, I mean, think about if you're competing, no matter what you're competing on. And with this, it's mind, body, it's everything. It's not just verbal or just looking at you, it's the whole package. So you are center of attention. And if you're not going to be present, you're going to miss things, and you're also not going to be authentic. So if you're in your head, you're not necessarily present, you're thinking. And you're not going to be your best self, not at all.
And I love the fact that you used the word authentic, because in order to succeed at this, you need to be authentic at all times. But then sometimes it's difficult. Like I said, you're surrounded by so many women, different. How do you those little voices in your head, the overthinking, like, oh, am I good enough? Am I this? Am I that? How do you get to a point where you realize that, okay, I can do this? Like, that nagging feeling where how do you remind yourself that you as an individual are good enough?
I think if you look at sport as an example, so the teams, no matter what the sport is, or even the individuals, if you don't practice it off the field, you can't practice it on the field. So if you're not somebody who's kind of grounded, or who can still yourself or be present before you enter, you're probably not going to be able to do it when you're there. I think that's the first thing. So, off the field, on the field, so you've got to practice all of these things beforehand, and this is part of that. And then I think definitely being able to ground yourself, yes, as we discussed. And then there's something else. If you, again, take inspiration from sports teams, some of them, and I'll use an analogy. I read a book some time ago about the New Zealand rugby team, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, and definitely our boys. But, you see it across the board, that you go on the field wanting to win. Absolutely, we are here to win it. And at the same time, you're holding, there's a possibility that I might not this time. And so that's like a both and. It seems paradoxic, but if you can hold both of those, you're not going to freak out. I think that's the key. Going in there absolutely in the zone. I'm going to give it my best shot, be my best me, and it might not be my night.
But I like that you said that, because I remember during my time as a finalist, I thought to myself, win or lose, I need to still win. Meaning, when you win, if you're 100% yourself, if you're 100% present, if you allow yourself to actually enjoy the process as well, you are giving it your best shot. So whether or not you get the crown or you don't, you still win either way. I think the biggest thing that you can do, I know self-doubt creeps in sometimes, but like the worst thing that you can do is not allow yourself to be present. And I would actually advocate for journaling. I know we speak about journaling a lot, to journal your process throughout. I know sometimes we start at around 8 as a family. Start at around 8. You do everything that you need to do. We go to bed at around 8:30. But then during that time before you sleep, journal your day. how did you feel on that day? If there's something that bothered you, get it out, because sometimes when we fester emotions in or we keep them in, it hinders you from enjoying the process fully. So that's something that I'd also say they can do. I don't know if you have any other tips.
Yeah, no, I think very much so. You know, you always want to have as much balance as possible. So if there's a lot of negativity creeping in, get it out. You know, with little kids with phobias and things, we always say draw the monster, name the monster, you know, get it out on a piece of paper, not just the little kids. So absolutely, I'm with you on that. And I think if it's out, you can look at it and kind of reality test, you know, how realistic is this? And then, you know, again, if you look at it and you think, you know, I really need to upskill this and this. So say if something went horribly wrong and you journal this whole thing with the emotion, at the end of it you can be actually, what was my part in this? And what is just me venting? So it's also very, very helpful to give you practical tips where you need your attention.
It really, really is. And I just wanted to ask you with regards, we're talking about maintaining your mental, physical and emotional well-being. I know that all of those inform one another in one way or the other. So I just want to speak about the importance of the physical, because we've spoken about the mental and the emotional, how important the physical is in order to maintain the other two as well.
You know, I often think of the body as a vehicle, shall we say, and then you're the driver, you, shall we say. And you know, if your vehicle's not okay and it needs a service, you're going to really struggle to drive it. And if the driver doesn't know how to drive the vehicle, it's also going to be a problem. So, you know, your mental health is the driver, and that we've spoken about. And you know, it's the basic stuff with the body: sleep enough, exercise a little bit every day, look at your nutrition, are you hydrated? It's those little things that make the difference to performance.
It really, really is. I read something that spoke about how you can get all the medication that you want, but then it starts with the nutrition and the exercise and your environment and how you, and your energy and how you interact with other people as well. Those little things inform how you as a person are physically, mentally and emotionally as well. So I think that's quite important for the finalists. Any word of advice for them?
You know, I think when it comes to performance, you need a little bit of adrenaline, and you know this, I'm sure. You know, with everything, you need a little bit, otherwise you won't prepare, you won't be sharp, okay? But you can have too much of a good thing. You don't want nothing, and you definitely don't want too much. And one of the things we do wrong is we swap it around. So instead of the attention being mostly inside, and you know, I'm calm and breathing, and any centering exercise that you like, we normally put it outside. What are they thinking? What are they going to ask? What are they going to say? And so we call that an attention bias. And we don't look for the friendliest person, do we? We look for the one, I need to impress that one, you know, that one doesn't look happy. So we've got the bias all wrong. And then instead of focusing inward on, well, I'm feeling a little bit anxious, but I'm still here and I'm still performing. What do? We focus on, oh no, my heart's beating, I wonder if they can see, you know, my mouth's dry. So, and we just kind of need to flip that around and focus on what is going right and kind of keep your mind on that. Okay, this person looks friendly, I'm still here, I'm still breathing. And so we just want to really bring the control back inside, because that's really what matters.
And it is. And I know sometimes, especially when you're going through this process, you're going to feel like there's a telescope on you. Then it's not even there, but then you're going to feel like there is. But like she's saying, just focus on the good at all times. There's the 90% positive and the 10% negative that we look at, maybe even on social media, because that's such a big thing with this competition. But with that, I can just say focus on the 90% positive, because social media, yes, it plays a huge role in people getting to know you and all that kind of stuff, but be true to yourself at all times. I personally advocate for, like, if there's times where it feels like it's getting too much, take a break from social media. Do things that protect your energy first before anything else. Your energy is your most important currency in my opinion. So yeah, just stay authentic. Also just switch off from social media if it feels like it's saying too much, but also just be present and enjoy the process. It's one of the best experiences you'll ever have in your life, but then you also just need to make sure that your mental well-being, your physical well-being and your emotional well-being are in place in order to fully be present and be happy. So yeah, that is our mental health 101 for being a Miss SA finalist.